What's up, people? Just sold some stuff today. Driving around Northeast Ohio. I stopped at a Pilot Flying J truck stop here off the highway. I was thinking about going a little further to stop in Pennsylvania, but I don't want to waste more gas today. So I'm going to head back. Decided to use the Sony ZV-1 camera I picked up earlier in the week. Probably put this on YouTube, do some kind of like long format style things. Yeah, this is kind of like a day in the life of somebody who's stuck in Ohio in the United States. So if you're curious what it's like, it's usually cloudy, and yeah, what else is around here? Chocolate and cheese, a Burger King, a McDonald's, there's a Waffle House, and a Taco Bell. So all your necessities, everything you could need. Got my tools in the back of the car there. You never know if this shit box is gonna break down. Only thing I don't have right now is my my brake fluid supplies. So I think once I get back, I'm gonna pack that into the car too. I'm waiting on a couple things from Amazon. I got a little grip for this Sony ZV-1, some extra batteries and a dummy battery so I can stream. I think it'd be cool to set things up in the car too and do like just a driving vlog. So maybe let's go to Chicago or something. I'll have this all set up and we'll see how it turns out. But this is just my my first little actual recording test here with the selfie vlog mode with the ZV-1, and honestly it looks okay here. What do I have? I have the exposure compensation turned up just a tad bit. It was looking a little bit dark when I was on Twitch the other day, but yeah, I'll let you guys go. I got somebody in a U-Haul pulling up next to me, and we'll continue the journey from there. You might be curious what the roads, or the highways specifically, look like in Ohio. Here they are. Not the best. They're okay. I mean, there are worse areas depending on where you are, but this is the landscape, at least for this time of year. Lots of clouds. Lots of clouds. It's another reason why people from Ohio are like depressed, or they have like seasonal depression, because it's always cloudy. We like really don't have a lot of sun, and when we do, everybody's like, oh, that's great, oh, I love it. So just to give you an idea of what Ohio highways are like, this is it in all of its grandeur. Just another example of what it's like here in the United States. Cruising along, 78 miles an hour. Not a whole lot of people on the roads. Today is a Friday. Seen a couple state troopers. Nothing crazy like in the beginning of the week though. There were tons of cops. This Corolla is putting along pretty well. It's the 6-speed. Clutch is doing okay, which I'm glad about. Still slipping. It's definitely going to need a whole clutch job. Like, I'll have to tear the car apart, but not right now. Still working on getting another job. I think next week that's what'll happen. But yeah, just showing you the scenery of Ohio. way, see how everything's all like cut down? They've been shaving it back everywhere, which is kind of good. You don't have fallen trees, especially during storms. Just interesting to see it like this far out, because it's like farmland out here. A lot of Ohio is farms. Once you get out of the big cities, Northeast Ohio is a big area. Columbus, Cincinnati, all those types of places. Everywhere else, there's not a whole lot between. It's also why you're kind of stuck in Ohio, because you got to drive everywhere, and unless you have reliable transportation or you can afford to get out, you're stuck, buddy. Season here in Ohio. Always something to fix. I feel like they need to come up with something as an alternative to asphalt, because it obviously doesn't last long enough, doesn't hold up, and we just constantly replace it like far too soon than we need to. They don't want to spend the money on concrete